March 6, 2025. Time is 8:53 a.m. Special Agent Justin Jones is here at the Public Works Department to speak with Director Dink Butler. Good morning. Back again. How you doing, sir?
Dink Butler.
Justin Jones. Pleasure.
Good to meet you, sir. Come on in.
How are you, Robert?
Yes, sir. Please.
All right. Appreciate you guys kind of meeting with me today. It's kind of new to us. It's pretty much day two of what we got going on here. But as we kind of spoke of over the phone, were you there in the background for the phone conversation with Seamans or no?
Yeah, I was here.
But it's regarding the standing account. Received a request for investigation from the district attorney's office here in Bulloch County. I guess I'm not going to reveal the party now just for the integrity of the investigation. We don't really do that. It's kind of messy and reckless. But he learned that there might be accusations or possible, three, contract work given without bidding. Number two was, I guess, regarding the invoices associated with the Sand Creek construction. I guess there are billable hours that weren't mathematically possible. And then they just mentioned you yourself, sir, regarding the annual overseer of the accounts as well as commissioner, I guess, Toby, the brother of Clay. Yeah, that's essentially it. So I was able to get with Clay thus far, got records from him. Essentially just trying to make sure the numbers match up. I'm not trying to inflate it beyond what it is. I'm pretty much aware of the commissioners meeting, the commissioners meeting that occurred a couple of days ago. You guys kind of went into everything like that. You mentioned that you kept log sheets of loads and dates and times and destinations and stuff like that. If you had that would be what I would need, honestly. It kind of makes sense.
Right there on the table. But
hold it out there.
You made the statement about the billable hours not being possible.
Yeah.
And I think the point that some people are missing here is they're looking at Sand Creek and what vehicles he owns.
Right. Yeah, understanding that he rents them out.
He has some lease vehicles that are leased to him that are part of this operation as well, and he bills for those vehicles in that same process.
Yeah. A lot of the questions,
our daily log sheets show each truck individually.
Right.
And so if it's the one he owns or the ones he leases, there are daily log sheets for each one of those trucks.
Nice.
And that's what we match to the invoice when it comes in with 200 hours. Just, I don't know right off the top of my head, but just say 200 hours. We take the daily log sheets that we have and how many hours each truck put in, and that's what we match to the total number of hours.
Right. And the documentation, this is pretty much just like 3 or 4 of the invoices, and they included the Darasol one, in which
because his
everything was listed
very
out,
detailed.
very
It
detailed.
was.
Yeah. But you have the records, but
Yeah.
just to ask, because it's gonna be asked. They weren't intentionally withheld or anything like that. They just
No.
weren't. They just weren't attached. Okay. Do you attach every single detail? Okay.
Well, you can see the
Yeah.
stack over there.
I see it. Yeah,
I
for sure.
mean, You know, the commission's agenda meeting package is already several hundred pages long.
Right.
So and our financial department
Mhm.
has never asked us to attach that additional documentation.
Right.
We justify it,
Mhm.
and then we send it on for
Exactly.
payment. And I would have thought if they had been any concerns about it,
Mhm.
our internal financial department would have questioned it or
Right.
would have asked for some additional supporting documentation.
Exactly.
They've
It's
never
always been
questioned
available,
us.
but you just trim the fat as far as yeah.
So, you know, that's been our process.
Mhm.
I've changed it.
Right.
We now do tie our stuff to every invoice that comes in. This last one that we sent in, it's got all of the stuff tied to it.
Gotcha.
It just didn't seem realistic to do that up front.
Right.
Because we knew what we were doing. We knew that it was justified. So,
That's all I needed. I mean, you answered most of the questions during that meeting, so I
Yeah.
don't really have anything else unless you.
I'm curious, and this is just a question.
Mhm.
This investigation wasn't prompted Wednesday morning.
No.
See, I had this conversation about 3 weeks ago with one of our newly elected commissioners. Same subject to the detail. So I know where this is coming from.
May I ask which commissioner in particular?
Ray Davis.
Ray Davis. I've only learned of him this week, honestly. So.
Ray Davis's wife and Ray are closely tied to Bulloch Coalition, and Ray Davis's wife and Cassandra Michael
Absolutely.
are
I remember that name.
like that.
Yeah.
So, having said that, that's just background information.
I understood.
So I knew that the subject was out there. I actually got in a little bit of a confrontation with that particular commissioner when I called him back to give him an explanation to the questions that he had brought up.
Okay.
And he was mad because his name got associated with the questions being asked.
Okay.
I didn't give his name out. Robert specifically asked me who it was asking the questions, and I told him I could not disclose that information. But he got mad at me and questioned my integrity. So I know kind of where this is coming from, and I know why it's coming. I know what the issues are. It's sad to me that we're at a point, and you said I don't know, did you watch the meeting or listen to it? So you kind of heard my explanation.
Exactly.
To do our jobs, you have to be a servant. You cannot be self-serving and try to do this job. Everything that we've done, there is no question in my mind. I'm not worried about one thing you're going to find in that. It bothers me that there's a group of people out there that are always looking for the negative, and they get to make these implications, and when they're proven wrong, there's no stance. They get to walk away from it, but the stain is on everybody else.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance. But yeah, once all this stuff is cleared up, which I'm going to go through it today, as long as it's easily legible and things like that, it make it a little easier for me to do that. I'll be able to clear up any kind of misconceptions, misunderstandings, or anything like that. And forward them to the district attorney's office, let them know, and then we can close it just as easily as it opens.
Yeah. Any ideas about how long you think that might take, or who will make the determination on closing it or when?
I got nothing to do today but this.
Okay.
So my part will be done. I like to finish things pretty rapidly. My stuff will be done, if not this week, next week.
Right.
It'll be sent to the district attorney's office. He'll go through it. Now, however long it takes, they handle many cases. I don't know. I can't really expedite that process, but I'll be with you every step of the way. You'll be notified as soon as the decision is made. So that I can tell
Let
you.
me ask you this: when you finish your part of the investigation, and based on your determination for what you find, can you communicate that to us?
Only the district attorney's office. Like, I'm just giving the facts.
Right. No, I understand.
So that's it.
And that's what I just wanted to know, if I could know your determination at that point. So,
But my determination, if they go over, if
I
they say something
understand.
differently,
I was
mine
in law
cancel it out.
enforcement sometime. Robert's been in law enforcement.
Y'all know already. Yeah.
So I mean, I understand it. Robert and I both have been in public service for many, many years, probably 60 plus. If you put the two of us together, maybe even 70. But we understand the process.
Should I be leaving? Y'all know something I don't know? Or should I be getting out or what?
What?
Should I be getting out of law enforcement? Y'all know something I don't know? Or
Well, if you're ever interested in public works, I mean, but I was a lieutenant division commander here in the city of States, where I started off in fire many years ago when I turned 18.
Right.
I was over internal affairs and training for the city, and basically got burnt out.
Yeah.
This is back when Richard Malone was chief, and went to public works, and I've never looked back. I mean, I enjoy law enforcement. I'm still associated with law enforcement. Actually, still have my post certification, but it's frozen.
Right.
Or if I want to come back, I can.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was telling Dink, I've got close to 40 years in public service, and I mean, that's the biggest issue I have with any of this is now these, I won't go there, but these people throwing all this stuff out there, his integrity, my integrity. I mean, we hold that sacred. Here we are, years into this stuff, and they're questioning this stuff, and I'm sitting there going, I don't need this.
Yeah. I got my law enforcement certification in '88. Worked with Bryan County Sheriff's Department on and off part-time. I actually ran for sheriff in Bryan County in '95, and eventually I was head of private security department at Ford Plantation in Richmond Hill for 13 years. And so when I left that, I went into private business restaurant, and that didn't last long. That wasn't for me. And then I ended up back in governmental service, and my father was judge of probate court in Bryan County for 20 years. So I've been around the politics of it for many years. And, you know, like Robert said, our integrity is, we hold that dear. And you know, I don't know your belief or whatever, but I'm a saved Christian, and I have to answer for God, to God, for all of my actions. And I'm not going to tell you, I haven't done some things in the past that when I was a youngin' that would have not been good, but I can promise you that it's not been in the last 30 years. So it just really bothers me, as Robert said, for us to be our integrity for everything that we've done to try to benefit and serve the citizens of this county, and to have a group of people that is so negative and so focused on trying to catch somebody who is and that is very frustrating, and it is very to have to go through this. I've been through the lawsuits for Bulloch County. I was named personally for a lawsuit in Portal that I had nothing in the world to do with, but I was on the hook for the lawsuit. So people don't realize the sacrifices that we make as individuals to just do the jobs we do. So it is very frustrating to be questioned, to know that you're doing everything you can do and you're trying to do it right and you're trying to do the best for everybody. And, just like this is every bit of this, let me rephrase that, 85% of this cost of these invoices is reimbursable from FEMA and GBI. And it just really troubles me that we try to recoup as much money as we possibly can back to Bulloch County to benefit the citizens of Bulloch County. And you've got people out there that are just literally trying to tear you down. And it is, and you heard, if you listen to it, you heard me tell them I'm short-timing. I'll be 67 years old in May. I've already had some job offers. I can take my retirements. I told Robert a while ago, I hate to leave now, even if I get a job offer, because I don't want it to seem like I'm running from something.
Sorry. Just to answer the question, you answered it that night at the meeting. But as far as all those points that were listed in the request, the bidding, you mentioned in the meeting that you can't bid for such a thing. You don't know what you're going to ask for. It's a disaster that's occurred. So you kind of take what's available, right. Correct? Can you kind of go a little bit more into detail as far as how that process is? Or you kind of mentioned just calling out to see who's available. Is it just as simple as that? Okay.
It's rental. It's like if you needed a vehicle and you want to go rent a vehicle. I need dump trucks. I'm renting those dump trucks. It's not something that I can put a determination of how much material needs to be hauled or how long am I going to need you or, to get anything. I'm paying the same hourly rate to these truck rentals as these truck rentals get from other companies, whether that's an asphalt company that pays them $105 an hour or another construction company that pays them $105 an hour to come haul for them. We're paying $105 an hour for the trucks.
Gotcha.
And it's
as
just
far
like
as
right now, we're running. We own 8 dump trucks.
I think you're right.
I think we own 8 dump trucks. We don't have enough manpower to man them all.
Right.
Along with trying to keep all of the other maintenance issues going on across the county with solid waste and the other road gradings and all of that. So we reached out for supplemental help. These projects, if we didn't have any road damage, storm damage, or anything like that, we could manage it with our 8 dump trucks and whatever employees we have. Haul a load of dirt here or there. We're working on a project right now that we're having to put probably somewhere between 450 and 500 loads of dirt. If we had to do that in-house, that's a 2-month project or longer.
Yeah.
Right today, we're running 20 trucks. We can do that. We will probably have this completed by the end of next week. And again, 85% of that cost is reimbursed. So for us, it's how can we serve the citizens of the county best to get these things done, get these roads back open, get them safely travelable, with whatever is available to us. Yeah. If I can't define, and I don't get these trucks every day.
Yeah.
They may be obligated to go somewhere else because they're available for rent. And if they're obligated themselves 2 weeks in advance to do a project with a paving company, when we get to that point, I lose them. So then it slows our work process down. So it's a matter of when they're available and who's available, and just making use of that as best we can, because we can't put a definition on how much we're gonna need to haul, or where it's gonna need to go, or how long it's gonna last. It just really, it's a day-by-day operation, and you do the best you can do with it.
As far as Sand Creek is involved, they're a local business here as well. There's a relationship there that goes back 6 to 8 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That number, as far as their affiliation with Bulloch County and doing business,
Right.
was it just as simple as having that contact already, as far as reaching out to them?
Yes, absolutely. Because when we made that contact, we called a number of contractors.
Yeah.
We called Ellis Woods. We called, so
That's who I call right there.
yeah.
That's
I
the
mean,
only
we
one.
called a
Who
number
do I
of
need
people.
them for what?
Right.
And between Sand Creek, Duraso were the first two that stepped up that said, yeah, we can help you.
Yeah.
And
Others are
there's
charging
been some
unreasonable.
others since then. Carlton Gaines, D&H,
Joe,
um,
used to work for DOT.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Has inquired about helping us. So I mean, we've and then the additional ones that Sand Creek leases and then bills to us through their lease process. So it's just been kind of about what is available and who's available to help you when you need it. And so that's the process we went through. And like I said, there's days that we need them and can't get them, and there's probably days that we get them that we make the best we can out of it. You know, like right now, I would love to have these 20 trucks running every day from now to the end of next week. And this isn't the only project we got. We got some other projects out there that we still have to deal with. That, you know, so if I had to put a time frame on when did I think we would catch up on this, what, 6 months?
If we're lucky, according to what the weather is.
To get all of our roads built back up to what we call pre-storm conditions. We lost a lot of dirt in those 2 rainstorms back August and November, and
it was bad everywhere. Yeah,
it is.
every county they got hit. Yeah,
and you know, so you know, people want to talk about bidding or whatever, but when you can't define what you're wanting to bid for, and you're just scrambling to try to get help, you rent what you can when you can. We had a bulldozer breakdown. It was a 97 model bulldozer. Had something like 9,000 hours on it. Gonna cost $50,000 to even check it to see what's wrong with it. We went straight to Caterpillar. We got a quote. We're buying another dozer. We went to rent that dozer to use it during the time frame until we could work out the purchasing process. There's things that you have to do to keep things moving.
Yeah.
So that's our daily operation. That's how it functions.
We have policies that we have to abide by. These are county policies that are set by the Board of Commissioners.
Right.
Okay. First and foremost, illegal against the law activity ain't gonna happen around here.
Right.
We hold that to heart. Okay. But we are bound a policy manual for personnel, a policy manual for financial. Okay? So you know our policy, emergency purchases, okay? And we are under one of those directives. The county manager is authorized to waive any and all bidding requirements for the purchase of necessary goods or service whenever an emergency condition exists which presents a threat to the safety, health, or welfare of the citizens of the county, and whenever such requirements would cause undue delay of the delivery of the essential services under such conditions. Any emergency purchases must be reported to the Board of Commissioners at the next regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners. Any department wishing to make an emergency purchase must furnish the purchasing manager, who will then refer to the county with a written or verbal request that fully explains why it's essential to do so. In the absence of the county manager, the approval of the chairman of the Board of Commissioners or county manager's designee can be submitted. That has been followed to a T. When Tom was here, the emergencies were going on with the hurricanes and everything. That stuff was enacted. It has not been pulled back, has been redacted from us. If they want to do that, if the Board of Commissioners say there ain't no more emergency conditions, okay, we'll stop everything. We'll put the other policies into place. Right now, we're operating off of this. Okay? We're not circumventing anything on this paperwork or on the hiring. This is rental. Whether we put it out there for a bid, I mean, we need trucks.
Yeah.
We know the going rate that Reeves Asphalt's charging out here, Ellis Wood's charging out here to get these trucks in. That's what we come up with this price. And basically, we put it out there. If you got a dump truck, you got the insurance and all, you want in on this, here's the going rate. This is what we're willing to pay. We need trucks. Okay? We're following our policy. Also, I want to make sure that you are aware of and everything that we're running through emergency stuff, just like this stuff here, the commissioners do sign off on. They haven't pushed back on any of the papers yet. Okay? Also, so you know, there is a new email out there that came in yesterday. One of the members of the coalition have requested directly from us all kinds of other paperwork. Okay? Not that.
Not just that,
Tons of other stuff.
that they're wanting copies of.
And they have been redirected to follow Open Records Act. I can't hand you this. I can you, but I can't them. I can't hand them anything without going through the proper procedures.
Right.
Anything they want, we're going to give to them through the procedures. Okay? They're getting utterly ridiculous in the amount of stuff they're wanting. We can't manage day-to-day work here for having to stop and do what they're wanting to do.
Right.
So just to make sure it's out there and you know what's going on there too, policies are in place. We ain't violating them.
Okay.
They're impacting us every day, coming up with all kind of stuff, all kind of requests. I don't know what else to do. I mean, we just jump through the hoops. We got rule books to follow. There's no law that's been broken.
Maybe we get a copy of that policy as well.
I'll give you the whole book if you want. You want to take it and copy it and bring it back to me, you're welcome to it. You won't just...
Yeah, just the excerpt that has to do with what we got going on here, as far as protocols that you follow.
I'm glad we did that.
Awesome. But yeah, understandably,
On one page,
perfect. But yeah, I'm not trying to inflate it beyond what it is. We have the scope of what we're looking for.
Sure.
If any of the stuff, if we need additional documentation, I'll reach out to you guys.
I will say this. Is any of us above a mistake? Absolutely not. If you've done a forensic audit on all of that paperwork over there, would you find an hour somewhere? You may. But there is nothing intentionally wrong, and there's nothing outside of the operational policies that guide us on how to handle it.
And just
it's that one little thing there, and then go to the next page, and it's the document.
appreciate it. Just to ask, it's a part of the request as well. There's no underdealings or anything like that with members of the commissioners, staff, or anything like that. There's nothing like that going on. Okay. Sometimes you gotta ask kind of blanketed questions like that. So, but I'm gonna give you both cards as well. Look at that. The documentation you got for me. But yeah, we'll be back in touch. I mean, this won't take me that long. So
now, those you mentioned, is this specifically for the invoices that were mentioned in the meeting the other night?
So I was only given those like 4 invoices, including the Darisaw accounts as well. Those are the only ones that were mentioned as far as the discrepancy, and they all had to do with the Sand Creek affiliation. So
that stack over there is everything that we've had for Sand Creek.
okay.
So it's like 38 invoices or something like that.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
So, and now there's a second stack there that is part of this is Sand Creek dump trucks and those invoices as far as hauling dirt locally here for us. The other part of that is some Sand Creek billing when we were hauling, when they were actually hauling and billing for transporting rock from the quarry to the yard here. But the dump truck stuff, that was the invoice that was questioned the other day, is about their assistance for us, helping us transport from the yard or from our pit to our given work sites within the county.
Right.
So it's really 2 different activities.
As far as Sand Creek's affiliation, the money's just given to Clay and his business. I'm assuming you're not paying anybody that's in association with Clay, right? The money's going directly to Clay and anybody that he's renting from.
He manages that.
Perfect.
Yeah. He bills us for dump trucks he sends, whether they're his own dump trucks or whether they're leased to him.
Yeah.
He bills us for everything that comes through his management process. We've got other companies, like I said, Carlton Gaines, I think sends us 2 or 3 trucks sometimes. DH sends us 2, 3, 4 trucks some days. I don't forgot, you said Mixon sends us a truck sometimes. So we take what we can get,
right,
and we make use of those. And then, like I said, every truck that comes in here fills out a daily log sheet for us. You'll see in Clay's stuff there, they fill out a daily log sheet for him.
Yeah.
And so we match our daily log sheets to the hours.
Okay.
So we know that we're not paying for hours that we didn't have truck service.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Gentlemen, I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Would you,
Any questions?
would you do me one favor?
Sure.
Let me
Just
get
so
this going.
we got records on our end, would you fire me just off an email at some point that you did receive?
Yeah.
Says whatever paperwork,
No
every day
problem.
you want to
Yeah,
work.
as soon as I get to the office.
Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy.
Sounds good. Thank you again.
Hey, if you got any questions, feel free, please get hold of us.
Yeah.
We're here.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Gentlemen, take care. Thanks again.
Feel free to call if you need anything.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Y'all have a nice day. We're recording now at 9:26 p.m.